You're now listening to Mark Who 42 from the Whoniverse and beyond.
This episode of Mark Who 42 is sponsored by Highlander Novelties and Comics and Games. Highlander Novelties is a one-stop shop for pop and geek culture items. They specialize in the unique and throwback characters from the past and present. They carry new and back-issue comics, pop, Dungeons & Dragons, Magic the Gathering, and more. They even have decals that they make themselves and badges. Highlander Novelties is located at the West Oaks Mall in Ocoee, Florida. That's 9401 West Colonial Drive, Suite 520. That's Highlander Novelties at the West Oaks Mall in Ocoee, Florida, 34761. And tell them Mark Who 42 sent you.
Hey, it's Hilly and Hannah
from the Hillywood Show.
And you're listening to Mark Who 42.
Welcome to Mark Who 42. It's our Christmas show, and of course, because it's Christmas and I'm the only one who really doesn't celebrate it here on the show, I'm going to be presenting this myself, giving my co-hosts all a chance to celebrate with their families and their friends. We've got a great show today. We've got, in the second half of the show, the Christmas audio episode of Doctor Who Velocity. Yes, they've made a Christmas episode, audio only. If you saw the video, you can definitely listen to their audio episode as part of our episode as a Christmas gift from us to you out there. Thank you very much to Krystal Moore and Chris Phillips for putting together such a great episode. But besides that, we also have a very special interview. We've gone home for the holidays. So we've got Hillywood here to talk about their careers, their Doctor Who mashup that they did with Time Warp. It's great, and if you stick around, we'll bring that to you in just a few. You're listening to Mark Who 42 Christmas episode. We'll be right back.
Don't go away. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Mark Who 42 after this.
I did my Christmas shopping, and I got my girlfriend the Peter Capaldi crystal carving at DoctorWhoCrystals.com. And you should go there, too. They've got official BBC licensed crystal carvings of all the doctors inside of a crystal carving of a TARDIS. They are actual crystal, and they are beautiful. They've got every doctor to choose from, and they're only $100. They're not that expensive. So do what I did and get your spouse happy by buying them a crystal carving from DoctorWhoCrystals.com. You know, I might buy the War Doctor one for myself. Hey, Iggy.
Yes?
You know, I know that you started watching Doctor Who as a newbie, with the new show, but have you gotten a chance to watch all 7 classic Doctors in action?
I have not.
Well, you can find the most complete collection of Doctor Who ever broadcast in the U.S. on Retro TV.
Shut the front door. Are you serious?
I'm serious, and you don't even need cable for this. This is over-the-air television. You have an HD antenna. You can watch around the country Retro TV. Many of the stories have been remastered and enhanced from their original film and videotape elements, so they come out beautifully perfect in HD.
Mind blown.
It's free. You just have to go to your TV and find Retro TV, and you can watch all the great Doctor Who. They show 2 episodes Monday through Friday, and they show more than that.
I think I shall get my pajamas and my Ben & Jerry's then.
And recently they've added new stories. Not new stories as in like they've made new stories, but new stories that they haven't had in rotation, such as several Patrick Troughton tales that weren't on before. They're adding them to them. So there's more to watch because, those new stories became available. Web of Fear and Enemy of the World. So they've added things like that.
Oh my, I'm excited.
So don't forget to go and look for Retro TV and watch Doctor Who. You can go to retrotv.com and look for their schedule for exactly when Doctor Who is on in your area.
I'm logging in as we speak.
Jamie Ingle is an award-winning author of science fiction and horror novels and stories. The Toilet Papers, a book that she wrote, is a collection of short stories ranging from 50 words to more than 5,000 to match your bathroom needs. But here are some other facts that you may not know about her. She cosplays Marty McFly Jr., Wonder Woman, Garth from Wayne's World, and Trinity from The Matrix. She speaks to kids about bullying and to authors about writing and marketing their books. She once owned a body shop, managed a hip-hop band, and danced at the Aloha Bowl halftime show. Wow, that's really cool. But without coffee, the world would end. So definitely you should read some of Jamie Ingle's work, and you can if you go to her website, therighteangle.com. THEWRITEENGLE.com. And don't forget, follow her on Instagram at The Right Angle.
Hi, I'm Yi-Ji Cho. I played Chang Li in the Doctor Who movie, and I'd like to say happy holidays to everyone listening to Mark Who 42.
We're back with more of Mark Who 42. I'm your host, Mark Baumgarten. With me are A Couple of Geeks, Alida and Talon. Hello, guys.
Hello.
And all of us have brought together two very special people. And I'm going to let Talon take this. So Talon and A Couple of Geeks, take this away.
Hey there, guys. It's Talon.
And I'm Lita.
And we're A Couple of Geeks, and we're here helping out Mark Who 42 on this episode today, interviewing Hilly and Hannah Hindi from the Hillywood Show, the YouTube channel. Say hi, girls.
Hello. Hello there.
Hi.
We're
It's
very
great to have you
excited
guys
to
on
be
the
here.
show.
Thank you.
I have personally been a fan of the Hollywood show for about 10 years, like right after they got started doing YouTube videos. So I've been following them around not following them around like a stalker. That sounded creepy.
That would not be good. That would not be good.
I've been following their videos online for a while, and I got to meet them last year at MegaCon, and they were the sweetest girls ever. So I'm excited to be talking with them on the show today.
We bought some of your shirts.
Well, thank you so much. Anything helps.
So you guys have been doing the Hillywood Show on YouTube for how long now? Like 10 years?
This October was our 11th year.
Wow.
11 years. Amazing. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So tell for the fans of Mark Who 42 who may not know what the Hillywood Show does, you guys want to describe it in a couple of sentences?
Sure. The Hillywood Show is made up of two sisters, Hilly and Hannah. That's us.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for 11 years. We're all self-taught, so we never went to film school because we couldn't afford it. So we taught everything to ourselves. And we're still learning, but we only work with volunteers. We're maybe a crew of 5 people behind the scenes. And we make parodies of your favorite movies, TV shows, fandoms, celebrities, you name it. We most likely have it.
And it's interesting. I first found out about you when you did the time warp with the Doctor Who cosplayers. That was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And from there, I continued watching your videos. But that one was kind of special, as Mark Who 42, Doctor Who would. But I love Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I thought that you girls did an amazing job.
Thank you so much. Glad you guys enjoyed that.
So, girls, Mark said is rings true. You guys have a very, very good production value to your YouTube videos, and they all seem really, really well put together. How long do you guys spend in the process of the pre-production for your videos?
Too long.
You have to remember there's only 2 people really working on it. We have, of course, like a team where you say, well, we have the set designers, we have the costume designers, we do have, the crew that's going to show up, but we're involved in every single step of the way. So it's not like we go, hey, set designer, we want, just say, for example, the basement set from Stranger Things, go. It's like we're like, no, it's this many feet by this many feet, and there's this many columns, and this is made of wood, and this is made of concrete, and this is the ceiling, and it's only going to come this far. Like, we're involved in every single step. So pre-production, depending on the size of a project, I mean, right now can take, I would say, probably a month and a half to 2 months just to get it, started.
Off the ground. And then from there, it's
maybe like a week or two.
A week or two of filming, depending how everyone's schedule works. And then it's all handed to me for editing, and Hannah sits by my side, thankfully, through that. And I edit everything and do all the graphics,
behind the scenes,
posters,
video diaries.
We work with our creator who does the intros. He's a digital artist, and he does all the intros. So that's like a 2-month process for just post-production. Because there's only basically one person working on everything. And that's a bit hard.
Oh, yeah, we know that, too.
It kind of sounds like me in this show, having to edit everything myself and produce it and direct it. And, hey...
One of the things that you girls are really known for is not just the parodies, but the songs that you pick to go with those parodies. I'm curious to know how that process works. Like, do you come up with the song first? Do you think that you want to do this parody and then you kind of try and fit that song to it? Like, how does that process work for you guys?
Honestly, it really just depends. Most of the time, I think I believe the song comes first, and then somehow I just start envisioning what theme it's going with. Very rare am I like, okay, we have to do a parody on Doctor Who, and I have to find a song to fit Doctor Who. Very rarely does that happen. It's more about sort of by random, where I listen to a song and I'm like, hey, that'd be a good option for this, and this would be a good option for that. And then I approach like all these ideas to Hannah, because, in the end, she has to direct everything with my vision. So she has to understand what the heck I'm talking about. So I give her my little 3 ideas, and we kind of sit and go, okay, financially, what's possible? Or sometimes she just says, I don't like that idea. And I go, okay. And I shy away back into my cave.
That's very rare.
Yeah, but that's basically how it works. There's no big process. There's no big planning on, what's it going to be? What's the song going to be?
It's very organic. Yeah. It's just whatever comes to her, really.
So it's really inspirational then. I think that really is a testament to why you two have had so much success with over, was it 1.4 million subscribers on YouTube alone? And you guys, all of your videos really just have that spark to it. It's like that was exactly what you wanted to do, and you needed to do it. You did it right.
You.
Well, thanks.
I appreciate that.
Well, we're big fans of you guys as well. That's our whole shtick, is that we're fans of as many geeky things as, our geeky fans are. So, speaking of geeky fans, we wanted to ask you guys about, because you guys have such really good costumes in your parody videos. Who makes the costumes? And also, have you guys ever been involved in cosplay before you started doing these parody videos?
Yes.
I know for me, this is Hannah, at a very young age, I wanted to dress up. And I can't.
This was before cosplay was even a thing. I mean, I know we look young. But
I was born in '86, so we're not that young. But I remember.
You're babies. I'm sorry, you are babies.
Well, a lot of people think we're like 12.
Oh, well, no, you're not that young.
We're proud to say we were before smartphones, and we were before the internet.
Yeah. Yes, we were before YouTube.
We were before a lot of things. So we're proud to say that.
But for whatever reason, I just wanted to dress up as Batman, or, I mean, this is definitely showing how far back. I wanted to be the Raisin Man,
Gumby.
like Gumby, like all those characters. And I would dress up, but there was no intention behind it. I wasn't the actress. I just wanted to dress up like a weirdo. Like, I mean, back then that was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So that was me. And then Hilly came along, and she was more of like the actress. And then from there, our grandmother has worked at Caesar's Palace she worked there for over 40 years. She's now retired. She's worked with amazing people, and she's always done the costumes or wardrobe for celebrities that are there. And at a very young age, we'd enter, costume competitions, like God forbid we go to a little Halloween party, we win every single one, every contest, because our grandmother would say, no, this isn't right. This is the wrong color. it needs to be this or that or that. And she kind of, in a way, trained us as to
how things should fit.
Yeah.
What materials. So really you should be interviewing her. She's part of the work behind the costumes. She'd probably say, well, I couldn't do it without you, but like we couldn't do it without her. So we love her to death. I mean, we don't sew. We basically give the patterns, we give the materials, and we do our research, and we're the costumers. And we find items that, for example, like for Stranger Things, they don't need to be altered, but we do our search and we get like down to the brand of what the kids were wearing. So it's a very long process, and it takes us sometimes 3 weeks just to find everything and get all the materials. It's a very slow process, but I think it pays off. It's just very hard.
It's time consuming.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, us as cosplayers as well, we completely understand that. Going through working on costumes is sometimes for cosplayers, that whether we do it professionally or not, sometimes it's a year or two long process to put together just a simple, or what may seem like a simple outfit. But it really does matter whenever you put your heart into it, that's something that you love to do. And that really shows too.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And as well, it shows that you guys have so much humility. I keep hearing it in your voices when you keep attributing as well all of these successes that you've had to the people around you. And that's absolutely wonderful.
Oh, well, it's the truth. We're not like perfect because like every time we do the next production, we never try to one up it to say, oh, this one has to be better. Okay. Like, no, it's just kind of like, God, I hope we make this okay. And I hope fans really enjoy it. Every fandom is different, and the feel of everything is always different.
Yeah. And I think that's a very scary place to be, is when you're overconfident in your work. And I think that can lead to downfall. And then you're also not listening anymore to the voices that are going to comment on the videos, more just like, hey, this is my stuff and I know it's good. And like, that's a horrible place to be. So we've always been extremely, in a sense, humbled by the fact that our fans even liked the latest production and the production before that. Like, we always feel like it's a gamble. Like, this may or may not do good. Like, even if our whole team thinks it's great, it might not be okay. So that's something that we always try to keep in mind, is that we're not perfect. We make mistakes. We're still learning. Every company goes through this, from movies that people see in the theaters. Oh, it was, talked about so good, but look, the audience hates it. Like, you can never be too overconfident in your work. And that's something that we try to
just stay humble.
Yeah, just stay humble about it, because we understand if,
it can end.
It can all be gone tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you guys are.
42 could be gone tomorrow. In fact, I think that it is. I think we're done. I think the show's canceled. Thanks for being the last guest. Thanks.
Went out with a bang.
Can I have my severance check now, Mark? Thank you.
Severance checks are not.
Oh dear.
No.
If I get a severance check, everybody's going to complain.
We're not going anywhere, and neither are Hillywood.
What you're saying is that you're not doing this to get like the attention, but you're doing it because you love it. So you're obviously not picking fandoms or characters in the guise of one day I will meet them. So what are your feelings about kind of the reaction that you've gotten back from being as popular as you are now? And have you met any of those characters that you've parodied, the actors or actresses that you've parodied those characters? What was that biggest, like, oh my God moment response back from one of those experiences?
And we've had a lot. I mean, not necessarily meeting people, but whenever we put out productions, we're not trying to get under the eyes of, the actual director or the actors. Like, that's not our goal. Our goal is just to make a video that fans will enjoy on their favorite fandom. And if the actors or whoever, crew members, producers, see it and they like it, that's just even more of like a cherry on top for us. Like, we go, oh, that's awesome, yay. But I think one of the most Are you thinking the same one?
I think so.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think one of the most iconic ones for us that we actually got to meet and talk about our video was Lady Gaga.
Oh my God.
A few years ago, we had done it was one of the older ones. It was based on Halloween, and we called it Gagaween. And apparently, a lot of the little monsters, her fans, had shared it with her, and we didn't hear from her right away. Like, that wasn't our goal. Apparently, they were sharing it so much that maybe her feed became overwhelmed with it. And she happened to just see it. She tweeted it out. She loved it. She said, like, I'm, like, peeing my pants kind of a thing.
The whole house of Gaga was
We're watching
it. With her. And then we were given the chance to meet her. Her manager let us go backstage and meet her. And she was like, oh, my God, like, how do you make videos like that? It's so amazing. And she was so sweet. And I'm a huge fan of Lady Gaga, so forget it. I was, like, peeing myself. And then another one that was really neat was Jared Leto. He watched Suicide Squad parody, and he posted, like, a little emoji heart, but that's, like, all I needed to get his approval. Freaking
that
Jared
he even
Leto.
saw it, yeah.
And then David Tennant, we met him. We met him backstage.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
And, he was super sweet because he didn't recognize us. I was like, we did the Doctor Who thing. He's like, what do you mean? I go, the Doctor Who parody Time Warp. He's like, oh my God, that was you guys. He was like, it was so good. He was asking more about, what is the Hillywood show? Because once, when celebrities see this, sometimes they don't understand, like, the Hillywood show is this whole shebang. They think it was just a random video that you decided to do. So, like, when we kind of get into it, a lot of them are like, oh my God, that's really neat. Oh, Josh, who plays Eugene.
Oh, Josh McDermott?
Yeah, who plays Eugene in The Walking Dead. He came up to us at a convention, and
he had seen The Walking Dead video.
Waiting in line with our fans, and he came up to our table and was like, hey, I'm a huge fan.
I was like, why are you waiting in line?
We were, like, trying to act all cool when he walked away.
But he had his hair, like, usually you meet actors, and you're like, oh, that's... Well, David Tennant still feels like the Doctor. Like, certain actors still feel like the character, because... sometimes they still have the hairstyle, and he had his little mullet and everything, and he had his boots on, and he's like, yeah, I really like your stuff. And I was just sitting there like, oh, thank you. But inside I'm like, oh my God, it's Eugene from The Walking Dead.
And of course, for us, the best thing that had ever come from it was the cast of Supernatural. We absolutely adore the entire cast. We have never met a cast more down to earth, more humble, more loving and kind than this whole team of actors and actresses. So, like, without the Supernatural family and, how they supported us, I don't think that video would have even been half as amazing as, it had turned out to be. So we owe a lot to the cast of Supernatural.
Yeah, they're highly featured in that video, and it's just awesome to see the cast and their reactions dancing along to the music and stuff, which is honestly one of the things that makes that video great, besides the two of you.
Oh, goodness, thank you.
Speaking of Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah, we have to speak of Doctor Who.
We do.
To do that. We're contractually obligated.
Are you still invested in Doctor Who, or where are you in the series as of now? Because I know you guys are working really hard, and it's a hard show to keep up with sometimes.
Yeah, honestly.
We haven't kept up with, like, most of our favorite shows.
Yeah, honestly, this whole past almost 2 years have been kind of this whirlwind of
other fandoms.
Like, we were really caught up in Suicide Squad parody, and that kept us busy from November to March of 2000, like, starting in 2016, entering 2017. See, I'm all confused with my years. It's all a big blur. And then we got busy in, like, we got busy with touring, and that's when we met you guys at MegaCon. That was during our touring dates. And then from there, we went
from June till October of this year was all Stranger Things.
So we have missed out on the latest Walking Dead season. We have missed out on the latest Doctor Who season.
But
we have missed out on the latest Supernatural season. We've missed a lot of good telly, and we're sad about that.
You've heard that Jodie Whittaker is taking over as the Doctor.
Yes, we did. I have been updated on that.
Okay.
With regards to the season, I've missed out a lot, and I'm sad.
What do you think of having a female Doctor, if you will?
I'm I'm truly, truly upset because they didn't ask me to audition.
Yeah, I'm getting that from a lot of actresses that I've talked to. Why am I not?
And I would have been the first ginger female doctor.
Yeah.
So that would have been amazing. So, but anyway, I'm excited to see her performance, and I really, really like her costume.
Are you planning on doing any more Doctor Who parodies in the future? Is that in your Blue Sky projects?
I don't know. We're not going to lie that there is an idea for another one, but it's like, yeah, it's like to the point
Spoilers.
where I just don't think we would have the funds to do it. There's even another concept that we recently, I think it's like a 95%. We have to just turn away from it because unfortunately the ideas are amazing, but we just, unless we get more Patreons and people donating to help us create more, we cannot physically do it.
We're about halfway to our Patreon goal right now, but we sort of been halfway for
2 years.
2 years. So unless, like, you know, we're really able to get over that hump, then maybe we can
do bigger ones.
The bigger ones, because, for example, the Doctor Who one that we kind of have in mind for revisiting has a lot of special effects. That's something that we've never really worked with before. And, you know, just to do our little intros alone, like, you know, the Supernatural logo, the Doctor Who intro, or, you know, something like that, for example, those are pretty expensive just in them, you know, by themselves. Because I have to, you know, make sure I'm telling the person working with us, he's giving us a discount, but he still takes hours and hours from his normal job to do our little intros. So for him now to dedicate almost like, let's just say, a 4-minute video when he's doing 20 seconds. it would be extremely pricey. So that's something that right now has shied us away from my new Doctor Who idea.
But it's awesome. It's so cool.
I like it more than the time warp idea.
We would need BBC like behind us.
We would love to, get BBC involved to help.
Speaking of BBC, in your video of Sherlock, at the end you had a little
cameo.
A little cameo from Steven Moffat and his son.
Yes.
Which that was adorable, by the way. And I remember while you guys were at MegaCon, you were exclaiming that scene of you two dancing by the pool was excruciating. Was it?
One of the hardest scenes you said that you had filmed because it was really hot.
Yeah.
Yes, they
don't remind me.
Yeah, they said,
oh no.
It's when you go to, like, you know, swim meets and they turn the heat on for the swimmers, so that when they get in or out, it's not that bad. And it was very cold. Because we were in Bristol. It was cold that night.
What, in January? When were we in Bristol?
God, no, we were there like April, but it was freezing.
Yeah, they said it was like a cold spring or something.
Yeah, they're like, it's very cold today. Yeah. And I was like, oh God, of course it is. Of course it is.
It's the sunniest day, but it's also the coldest day.
Oh, yeah. So it was just absolutely freezing outside. So they turned the heat up more indoors because, you know, obviously you don't want to get sick. And from the moment we walked in, I think our crew was in there for maybe about 5 minutes, just kind of bringing in the equipment. And I stayed out because I was like, ooh, it's kind of, you know, muggy. Like, it felt like Florida humidity, but like almost like 98 degrees Florida humidity.
We're used to that. Some of us are from Florida.
You never
awful.
get used to it.
No, you
and
never
like
get
5
used
minutes,
to it.
5 minutes later, the crew came out and they looked like they had jumped in the pool. Like, I can't even explain it to you.
I know in Florida it's only like that in like extreme heat, but within 3 to 5 minutes and your whole shirt is soaked, that's telling you, like, it's like a sauna in the gym is kind of what it feels like, with a sweat room. Like when you go into a sweat box to sweat, this is what it felt like. It was so bad, my wig came off. The second I popped my head into the door, my wig came off. Like
okay, our wigs are not the type that you just pop on your head.
It's all glued and everything, the glue was like, bye, and it completely just like peeled off my head, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to say anything, I'm just going to go re-glue this little thing and just go and work. But yeah, it was crazy, but I mean,
we did it.
With Doctor Who, I mean, everything kind of has its challenges. With Doctor Who, I was sick for the whole dance of the time warp. So the whole opening of the video, I was sick. That was the next day. And then all those dance scenes, I had like a fever. I couldn't breathe out of my nose. It was, and so like everything that we do, there's something that reminds us like, oh yeah, it wasn't easy. This is hard.
You always have one of those days.
So it makes us extremely happy when you guys are like, that I loved the dancing, or I loved the scene. Like, yes, it was
good, because we thought we were gonna die.
It was worth it.
Speaking of that, that moment there for the time warp, you guys had a huge cast for that video.
Oh, there were a lot of people there.
That was were those all like you said? Those were all volunteers.
Well,
pretty much at that point they were.
Yeah, but besides Rose, Martha, and Donna, all those other people were only needed for a day.
Okay.
So, yeah, we kind of look at Doctor Who going, yeah, it was a very small cast because all the other days, thankfully, were nice and easy. But all the people on stage were dancers, and what we had to do, we had to write people, because we didn't have the time to get that many costumes. The only ones that we were able to do, I think, with our, now he's passed away, but with our
costume designer,
past costume designer, John Henson, he made all the Scarecrow costumes. And what else? I think we did.
We used another costume designer, Maggie Thies, did the cats.
Did the nurses.
Yeah, the little cat nurses. I call them the cats.
But the Oods, like all those other scary cosplays, we actually had to reach out to people who had owned the costumes that were willing to say, you're not going to be the ones wearing this. This is going on a professional dancer. And so they trusted us. They came out. They were really, really awesome, and we were so thankful to have them be a part of it. And they were all such good sports, and we just appreciated, just their love of making, basically it was a fan film almost.
Yeah, we couldn't have done it without like the help of other cosplayers, pretty much.
No, that's awesome. That's really amazing. It's so sorry to hear about your loss of your costume designer and stuff. It's always hard losing people, and we know that we've lost a lot of influential people within the world of film and television and stuff like that throughout the past years and stuff, and it's always terrible. And it's also just terrible when it's close to home like that as well. But no, that's so awesome that you guys were able to pull that off, and that you're telling me that or telling us that day you were sick. That reminds me of Singing in the Rain.
Oh, Gene Kelly was sick. He was had a really high fever when he was filming the scene where he's dancing in the rain. He was very high fever. Like he should have been in bed, but he was still filming it in the water, in the rain, and everything.
Yeah, they say between takes he would just lay there with his hat off underneath the water because it was cooling him off.
Oh my God. Oh God. And funny story about that, because that day, the dancing, we had technical issues with the lighting, so we basically, got in the theater around 6, and we weren't out until about 7 a.m. the next day. It was a horrible technical flaw. But, after we did that, Hannah said we have to go shoot the opening of the video because that's how long we had the warehouse for.
We were supposed to finish, I think, at 2 a.m., sleep for a couple hours and not get to this other studio till 10. Well, we had the technical issue at that theater, so we didn't get out till 7 a.m. and we had to film in 3 hours because the studio was only available that day.
And so she just looked at me and she's like, Hilly, I'm so sorry, honey. You can't take off any of the makeup. You're going to have to just nap and don't move because we're going to keep shooting. And I know you're super sick, but keep on everything. And so what I did, I just crawled into bed and I just put 2 little pillows between my little Dr. David Tennant faux hawk, I call it. And I was like, don't move. So I slept, and actually the makeup turned out, I don't know how, it just kind of turned out okay because that whole opening scene of, the time warp.
That's 16-hour makeup still on the face.
Oh, wow.
16-hour makeup. And, in between scenes, I had tissues stuffed up my nose. And there was, snot flying out of my nose when I was twirling. We almost had a fire on set that day. It was quite crazy. So, yeah.
Duly noted. Doctor Who on stage is extremely difficult. Okay.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Oh, my goodness.
I do want to personally thank you girls for being an influence for me. When I started watching you, you immediately were doing, I think, Captain Jack Sparrow when I started watching your videos. And it was the first time I'd seen a female cosplay a male character without it being weird. Like, it just seemed natural to me. And it was a big influence for me in my own personal cosplays when I started cosplaying and what I wanted to do. And so I started kind of thinking of characters that were important to me. And a lot of times they were male characters. And I think that I wouldn't have easily gone that direction if it wasn't for your influence. I also feel very highly that as a team of females and pushing your boundaries and just kind of doing your thing unapologetically, that you have been huge female role models in the film community as general. Like, what do you feel about that? And as you move forward in your projects, do you understand that responsibility that you have?
Wow, thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, number one, I think it's really neat that I inspired you to, cosplay as different characters and not just be like, I have to always cosplay female. My first cosplay when I was little, my parents dressed me up as the prodigal son from the Bible. So, that was my first cosplay. I was a boy. So from there, it was just.
Hey, I was Batman.
Yeah, we were Batman. So we've always, we always tend to like to be the hero of the story, so to speak. But I don't know, I think there needs to be more women in the film industry, and I think that we need to all be paid equal, because I think we all work just as hard as the man next to us or, any other fellow being in the world. I don't agree with that. So, like I said, we don't feel like we're the inspirees. I feel like the fans inspire us to keep going, because in the end, it's just two people in a room with this huge thing called the Hillywood show. But we consider the Hillywood show fans. So without the fans and without the inspiration and people like you saying, hey, you inspire me, to be a strong female in the film industry or to cosplay and have fun, that is the coolest thing we could have ever wanted for our show. It is amazing, and we hope that, one day a network will step in and recognize that, hey, even though we're females and we've created this, that we should take you to the next step, offer you maybe a show on Netflix or on Hulu or Amazon or, something so that the Hollywood show could get even more out there to kind of show other people that you can do this too. This is where we started and this is where we're at now. So I think it's really incredible. Hannah, do you have anything to add to that?
No, that was very well said.
Oh, thanks.
Bravo.
Hilly and Hannah, you have the Hillywood show. They can find it on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any other web presence or any place that people can contact you if they want to just chat or ask questions?
Well, we have Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. We're basically on every social site that you can think of. But we also would love to, if viewers listening are interested in helping support the Hillywood show and help us create more parodies, you can visit patreon.com/Hillywood, and there you can donate as little as $2 to our next production and to the future of Hillywood, and that helps us think of what the idea is going to be next. So yeah, anything helps, and 10% of that goes to St. Jude Children's Hospital.
Oh, good. We're up to the point of the show where we ask our guests if they have any upcoming things to promote, and I was wondering about what you're working on now. What's the next thing coming out?
We're talking about that.
You're talking about that.
Yeah, we recently
had 3 ideas.
We have 3 ideas. I think we just shot one down out of the sky.
We don't have the money.
Because we were like, how in the world? And Hilly was cracking me up. She's like, I just don't see it. And we don't have food, and we don't have it's too big. It's just too massive for Hillywood.
She means food for all
a ton of people on set.
We don't have
Craft services.
Yeah, we don't have food.
No, it's not like that. Be clear, Hannah.
We don't have enough
food for the people on set.
Yeah,
I'll come by.
I'd be like, well, there goes half the budget.
Yeah,
I'll come by. I'll make baked beans for everyone, and we'll just
baked beans. I think
people would quit.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. A lot of people now, you have to. the Hillywood show is turning into something now where it's like, oh, you have a lot of views, so this is how much I'm going to charge. And it's like, wait, what? Like, no, like, you don't understand. YouTube takes 40% of your income. Like, we don't make the money off of YouTube at all.
No.
So it's just now, we don't really want to say, and we've never done that before, because we feel like when we tell fans, hey, here's the ideas, it's like, I think they get overly excited, or
we don't want to disappoint
and then if we
them.
say, hey, just say, for example, I don't know, just say, we're doing Back to the Future. Or maybe we're going to do Indiana Jones. I want Indiana Jones. Oh, my God. Actually, we're not. Bye. It's like you can't do that to people. So right now, it's between two. And we,
now it's availability.
Yeah.
Budget.
Budget is number one.
Budget's number one. But
Availability.
Then availability and then schedules. So if one opens up with availability and the other one doesn't, we'll run to that one. Mm-hmm. And if it's vice versa, both of them are very ambitious though, and are gonna.
It's still gonna be big.
Pretty. Yeah. A big amount of effort.
We tried to say, what could we do a little bit smaller? Just because Stranger Things was huge and Suicide Squad kicked our butt. But these two are just as big and time consuming. Yeah. So,
but we're excited.
You guys will eventually know.
I feel like they're both that original ideas, and it's a little bit different from maybe Stranger Things parody. Mm-hmm. It's just a little bit different, a little bit more fun for each of them. Mm-hmm. So they're both very fun parodies, and we hope to have a good time making it, which one it is.
Well, we'd like to thank you both, Hilly and Hannah Hindi of Hillywood, for coming on Mark Who 42 and being our special Christmas guest. It's Christmas, folks! Yay! Merry Christmas to you both. Yeah. And if you ever want to come back to the show and promote the next one that you're doing when you figure it out and whatever, the door is always open for you to come back. You are lovely guests.
Well, thank you. We'd be very happy to return.
The door is also open if you want to ever come back to Florida and visit.
That's true.
Of course, we know nobody ever wants to come to Florida and visit. But yeah, if you want to come back, you can. Yeah.
Oh, we like Florida.
Oh.
Florida likes you too.
For the people listening, if there's a convention near you coming up, the only way we're able to make it out and appear as special guests is if you email your local Comic-Con, send them an email and request the Hillywood show, and then from there, hopefully they'll reach out to us.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. A couple of geeks, Talon and Alida, any last questions you want to ask them?
Oh, last questions. Man.
Last question.
Last and final question.
You put me on the spot, Mark.
I
did. What did you have for breakfast? Wait,
yeah, that's it. No, that's sweet.
No.
Waffles.
They answered it. I'm sorry, you just lost your chance, Talon.
I had my first chicken and waffles yesterday. That has nothing to do with the Hillywood show.
Chicken and waffles?
But she said waffles.
No, I think, girls, you've been absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for answering the questions so honestly, and thank you so much for your humility and the amount of things. Yeah,
blood,
the amount of work that you guys do.
And tears.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have been fans. We will continue to be fans. We're excited to see what you guys have coming next. If we can contribute anything to you guys as well, is that, we're always going to be supporting you guys as much as we can because, like I said, we're fans of you. So.
Well, we appreciate all the love and support. We're just so thankful that there's people like you to encourage us and inspire us to create more. So thank you.
So much love.
We'll be right back with more of the Christmas episode of Mark Who 42. This segment of Mark Who 42 has been sponsored by Cosplay Convention Center. You can find more information by clicking the link on markwho42.net. They are a database for cosplayers, for anyone who works in the convention limelight. If you're looking for us, we're there. They have a database that narrows down where we're going to be. If you're looking for Doctor Who conventions in your area, this is a place to look. If you're looking for certain people going to conventions, you can find them there too. This database is amazing, and it's wonderful to use if you need to find out about your favorite genre, your favorite podcasts, your favorite professional cosplayers. Check out the Cosplay Guide. Again, you can find their link on markwho42.net.
Don't go away. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Mark Who 42 after this.
Mark Who 42 is proud to have Famous Faces and Funnies as a sponsor of our show. They have literally tons and tons of comic books, novelties, and everything. They're located off of 3020 New Haven Avenue in West Melbourne. If you want to give them a call, let them Mark Who 42 sent you. You can call them at 321-258-3575. But they are a huge store. I mean, you've seen comic stores, but this one is kind of like the Costco of comic stores. They have tons of merchandise. It's incredible. You can go from one store, then there's another section and another section. They have tons and tons of stuff there for you to buy. If you have any geekdom out there, Famous Faces and Funnies has got it. Doctor Who, Star Trek, Star Wars, everything. Rick, the guy who runs it, real great guy. You definitely want to check out Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida.
Hello, I'm Nicholas Briggs, the voice of many monsters on Doctor Who, and executive producer of Big Finish Productions. And I'm pleased to announce that Mark Who 42 Books have joined forces with Big Finish to bring you Big Finish Audio.
There's this fella who calls himself the Doctor, and he says he has saved me, and we are in his time machine.
You're all right. I think I've broken something. What about you?
Yes, I'm fine, thanks.
I rather think I broke your fall.
Oh, sorry.
Mark Who 42 Books will now offer to bring you the best in Big Finish Audio.
But why are they here?
How do you do?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, no need to. I'm the Doctor, and this is...
I am Leela.
By all means, please do come out to play, Doctor. I'm waiting for you.
To find where Mark Who 42 Books will be, go to markwho42.net or on their Facebook site at Mark Who 42.
What are you saying? They fizzled in somehow, like the TARDIS?
Yeah, transmat from another dimension. The TARDIS doesn't fizzle. It's more of a...
Also go to markwho42.net and download my interview with the team.
You're executive producer at Big Finish Productions.
Correct.
Correct.
Is this a quiz?
Mark Who 42, taking you to the Whoniverse and beyond.
This is Elisa Stern.
And this is Scott Ampleford from Dr. Puppet. And you're listening to Mark Who 42.
We're back with more of Mark Who 42. I hope you enjoyed our interview that we recorded with Hillywood. It was great, and it's great having them on the Christmas show. I really love the work that Hillywood does. Okay, so now it's time for the premiere of Doctor Who Velocity's Christmas episode. So let's play Doctor Who Velocity's Christmas episode 2017.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Hello? This is the antique store, isn't it?
Sorry, I shut about 10 minutes ago. I'm DJing a Christmas Eve party tonight.
Excuse me, young man. My name is Lady Baynard. I'm the wife of Lord Baynard. I'm looking for an antiques expert called Lloyd. Not some scruffy DJ in a heavy metal t-shirt.
This is it, I'm afraid. I'm Lloyd.
Look, tomorrow is Christmas Day, and I need to get my husband a present. Do you know how hard it is to buy something for a man who already has everything? Now, will you let me in? It's starting to snow out here.
What are you doing?
I'm giving you a very, very bad Yelp review.
Okay, look, I'll open up for another 10 minutes. Come on in.
Now, let me see. I don't know. This all looks rather old.
Yeah, it's an antique shop.
Wait a second. What's under this blanket? Let's have a look. Some sort of sculpture piece? Lloyd, this is fantastic. Ralph loves modern art.
That piece of junk, that was here when I moved in. This place was a Marconi radio factory. To be honest, I'll be glad to get rid of it.
Ralph and I love industrial sculpture. This is exquisite.
Well, it looks like a big food blender with a couple of plungers stuck on the front.
No. Look at the contrast of industrial metal and sharp chrome details. To me, it says power, domination, total supremacy. The genius that designed this was trying to invoke imperial power. It's very British.
Okay, I'll tell you what, you can have it for 100 quid if you take it away now.
I can't spend that on my husband's Christmas present. How's about 400 in cash under the table?
What do you mean?
A little secret from the tax man.
Oh, I put everything on the books.
No wonder you have holes in your jeans. You should get some financial advice from my husband. He's got a bank account in the Cayman Islands.
He sounds like a pillar of the community.
Exactly. Now, can you help me carry this out to my car? I'm parked over there by the viaducts, just across those 2 spaces.
Oh, that's your Land Rover, is it? You're the one blocking the entrance to the comic shop.
How did you guess?
Ah, this smells like the Golden Fleece. Musty mix of beer and sticky carpets. Hello, sir. I'm looking for a dude with a ponytail, sells antiques, and apparently robotic space aliens.
Oh, you mean DJ Lloyd? You've just missed his set. I'll need to see some ID if you want to go in.
For someone who's over 900 years old, I will take that as a compliment. Looks busy in there.
Haven't you been out in Chelmsford on a Christmas Eve before? Prepare yourself.
Actually, I was in here on VE Day 1945. You ran out of beer by 2 in the afternoon, and one of the Navy guys climbed up on the statue of Judge Tyndall and peed on his head.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. The toilets in here are a complete war zone. Wait, did you say 1945?
Oh, look, there's an angry-looking man by the record decks. I think that's him. Thanks. Hello, I'm the doctor.
I'd hurry up if you want a drink. The bar's closing in 5 minutes.
I'm looking for a dangerous robot, about 6 foot tall, very stiff-looking, bad at conversation.
Steady on, love. I'm taken. But you could try the local rugby team. They're the ones sitting over there by the dartboard.
No, I'm looking for a robot. Plungers for arms, made of metal.
You mean the thing from my shop? I sold it to a posh American woman. She took it back to her mansion in Whittam.
Listen very carefully, Lloyd. We need to get it back now. It could exterminate the entire village, and then possibly the universe.
I think you might have had a bit much to drink. I'm just about to pack up. Some fresh air might help.
Yes, I have something outside you might be interested in.
Right, here's my van. Just put those decks in the corner there. Would you look at that? I've never noticed a 1950s police box on Duke Street before.
Lloyd, I have a little surprise for you. Take a look at this.
Wow, that looks like a 16th century bronze cauldron. Where'd you get that from?
It's a one-of-a-kind, Lloyd. Owned by England's first witch, Agnes Waterhouse. She used it to mix up her potions. I'll let you have it if you help me get that Dalek back.
Okay, you got yourself a deal, but I don't think the Baynards will appreciate being woken up at 5 in the morning. Do you want a lift?
Actually, I already have a ride sorted out. I'll meet you there.
Doctor, how'd you get here so quickly?
Wow, this is quite something special. Look at those concrete lions by the front door. Very tasteful.
Can you smell burning?
No. When you travel around the universe fighting death and destruction, you get used to that smell. Let's see if they're awake.
Lloyd! Oh, thank heavens! I was just about to call you. There's something terribly wrong with my husband's Christmas present. It's currently running amok in the east wing of the house!
There's one thing in this universe you must never do. Invite a Dalek for Christmas.
Well, I'm aware of that now. It already vaporized our kitchen staff. Who's going to cook our Christmas dinner? Lloyd, do you know how to relight an egg stove?
I've got a couple of turkey sandwiches from the service station in my van. Might go nicely with a few beers.
Priorities, Lloyd. Let's save humanity from the Daleks and then worry about lunch.
What on earth is going on? Who are these two? Are we being robbed? What's that noise?
Ralph, go back to bed. There's been a little hiccup with your Christmas present. I'm just getting it sorted out. I want it to be a nice surprise.
Lord Baynard, I presume. I'm the doctor. I'm afraid that your lovely wife has unwittingly bought you a genocidal alien robot for Christmas. We need to stop it before it turns the town of Whittam into a fascist wasteland full of mindless, hate-filled drones.
Some say it's a bit late for that.
Oh, Margaret, last year was yoga classes, and now you've gone and bought me a bloody space Nazi. Next year, just get me a bottle of scotch.
Perfect. Why not start the day off with a drink? You go hide in the wine cellar, and we'll sort out this mess.
Now that is a Christmas morning I can enjoy. Come on, dear. Let's do as the young lady says.
Don't forget to take your shoes off in the lounge. We just had the carpets replaced.
Lloyd, it's coming down the corridor. Why can't Daleks take Christmas Day off like everyone else?
Stephen Vicarage, electrician. I'm here to fix a power cut.
Vic, fancy seeing you here. You're not working today, are you? You should be at home with your feet up.
Hello, Lloyd. The Christmas Day call-out was triple time. We got the mother-in-law over. I thought I'd leave her and the wife yakking at home and get paid for changing a few fuses. What's going on?
We're about to be vaporized by an alien death machine. Find something heavy to put in front of that door. Quick!
The Doctor has been detected. Advance and destroy.
Vic, help me move this table, would ya? That should hold it for a minute. Now what do we do?
Lloyd, grab your DJ gear from the van. We're going to create a sonic weapon using your sound system. Vic, I need you to rewire the electrics. We need as much power as you can muster.
Well, there's nothing more exciting than breaking a few safety regulations.
Okay, we're nearly set. I just need to reverse the polarity on this circuit. When the Dalek bursts through the door, blast it with as much noise as you can. Play something loud.
Ah, oh, damn it, I've only got Christmas music.
Oh, wait. I've got a CD you can play. When my wife is nagging me, I lock myself in the man cave, put my headphones on and listen to this. Here you go. This'll knock his head off.
Do we really want to kill it, though? I thought you said you were a doctor.
Listen, there's not a single ounce of compassion under that cold shell. Only hatred and revenge. The Daleks strive for complete domination and will stop at nothing to get it.
Sounds just like my wife.
Exterminate!
It's coming through the door! Activate the device! And that, fellas, is how you defeat a space alien. How's that for teamwork, eh?
Wait a minute. We forgot about the Baynards.
Probably best to leave them. Hopefully they'll wake up with a hangover in a few hours' time and forget anything happened.
There's one more thing, Doctor. Where's that 16th century bronze cauldron you promised you were going to give me?
Of course. It's right in here. Follow me in, fellas.
Another police box? Wait a minute. What's going on? This is bigger on the inside.
There's your antique cauldron, Lloyd. Now you two better be on your way.
Should we go get a beer, mate? We've missed most of Christmas Day.
I'm so confused right now. I think I need to go lay down in the van.
Not so fast, fellas. Take a look outside.
I don't believe it. We're back outside the pub. It's snowing again. Wait a minute. It's Christmas Eve. We didn't miss it after all.
Well, you two have a good night. I must be off. I've got some last-minute presents to wrap.
Am I dreaming, Vic, or did that police box just vanish into thin air?
Oh, no.
What is it?
Oh, if it's Christmas Eve, does this mean I have to do Christmas morning with the wife and mother-in-law again?
Definitely time for a pint, mate. Merry Christmas.
thanks to that great female Time Lord doctor. It's Krystal Moore and Chris Phillips. Oh, that was such a great story. I love Doctor Who Velocity, and I'm going to love Jodie Whittaker in the role on TV. We've got 2 new doctors for a new age, and it's going to be great. So we've got some conventions coming up. This Sunday, coming up on December 31st, we've got the New Year's Eve Time Lord Ball, hosted by the Ken Spivey Band. It's going to be fantastic, out of this world. It starts at 6 o'clock at the Brass Mug on 1450 Skipper Road in Tampa, Florida. It's going to be so cool because I'm going to be there. Yay! No, but seriously, it's going to be fun. There's going to be music. There's going to be trivia. There's going to be guest performers. It's going to be a timey-wimey Time Lord Ball. Please Google or go to Facebook and put in the search engine New Year's Eve Time Lord Ball 2017 for more information. Students and military get a discount. And if you go to that, you get a freebie to the next event that's coming up. But definitely, if you are going to this one, go to that one. It's Time Lord Fest Tampa Bay 2018 at the Event Factory, where they've been holding it for the last several years, which is at 7565 Hillsborough Avenue, Tampa, Florida, on January 28th. It's going to be out of this world. Also hosted by Ken Spivey Band. You can also get tickets to a charity dinner with the stars. It's for the Live Strong Cancer Survivor Program, and that will be on Saturday, January 27th, with Robert Alsop, the Doctor Who costume maker, Louis Robinson, a 30-year BBC producer, and more. Hey, maybe even I'll be there. Won't that be fun? But I will be at the convention hosting panels, and it will be as good as all the other Time Lord Fests have been. Please, if you have a ticket to the New Year's Eve thing, you get a freebie into Time Lord Fest Tampa Bay. And if you bought a ticket to Time Lord Fest Tampa Bay, you have a freebie to the New Year's Eve. We've also got Comic-Con Revolution. Comic-Con Revolution West Palm Beach is going to be really exciting. It's their first convention in Florida. They've got one in California as well. Comic-Con Revolution is on February 24th, 2018 in West Palm Beach, Florida. They have some great guests, and besides me and God, I'm going to everything, aren't I? The 1989 Batmobile is the special guest. Of course, it won't be able to talk back to you, so maybe you need some other guests. Maybe you need, I don't know, Sandy King Carpenter, writer and producer. Maybe you need Adam Troy Castro. Ooh, he lives down here in South Florida. He'll be there. Ming Chen of AMC's Comic Book Men. Chris Claremont, the king of the Uncanny X-Men. We've got Ron Mars, who was one of the key components of making the Kyle version of Green Lantern. We've got Richard Starkings of Elephant Men, and Billy Tucci of Sergeant Rock, The Last Battalion, Heroes Fire, and the creator of She. And if you're a fan of the Netflix Marvel Daredevil and Nickelodeon's Henry Danger, we've got Tommy Walker as a guest for you. And like I said, I'll be there representing Marku 42. So it's going to be a great year. You know what? I didn't even mention, wasn't the Christmas episode of Doctor Who fantastic? Oh, that was a great show. And we will have a review of that in 2 weeks on our next show. We're taking a week off, New Year's and all that stuff. Even I get a day off, you know. So, but it was a great show. I loved it. We had great fun at the Weekend TARDIS viewing party. Anyone who came to it, we hope you had a great time. And until next time here on Marku 42, have TARDIS will travel. Bye, everyone. Marku 42 is written and presented by Mark Baumgarten, Patty Hawkins, and Iggy Matthews. This episode was edited, directed, and produced by Mark Baumgarten. Visit Marku42.net, where you can register and become part of the Hooniverse Army. We can be contacted by email at mark@markwho42, subject line, ? You can have Mark Who 42 entertain at your next event or convention. Go to heroesonhand.com/MarkWho42. Space Coast Comics is a free monthly magazine found in over 120 locations currently throughout Brevard County, parts of Osceola, Volusia, and Indian River County in Florida, and available in Chicago. Follow them on Facebook to learn more. Doctor Who and its properties are owned by the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation. This show is owned and copyrighted by Mark Who 42 Enterprises, LLC, 2017.